Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS here to talk some more Time Lord Victorious. This time we're going to be looking at the Titan Comics portion of the Time Lord Victorious. This is a 10th Doctor story. There will be spoilers, so keep that in mind. Spoilers. And as we go into it, we see the 10th Doctor. He's just coming off of a series where he was with the 13th Doctor. And as anytime the Doctors interact with himself, then the memory kind of gets wiped. So he's in the TARDIS trying to figure out why he can't remember what he was doing, and he's looking at the logs, and the TARDIS doesn't have anyone, and he steps outside, and what does he see but an army of these guys, Daleks, just waiting there looking for the Doctor. So what does he do? He hops back in the TARDIS, goes to another planet, and outside his window is more of these guys. And he does this again and again. And so finally, he asks them, what is it that you want? And they say they want to go meet with the Dalek Emperor, that he has requested an audience with the Doctor. And so the Doctor goes kind of out of curiosity, kind of out of nuisance, and the Daleks say that there's a new enemy in town, and he needs to save the Daleks from him. And he's kind of, oh, why? And he says, well, this being wants to destroy all life. And the Doctor's like, isn't that the Daleks' motto? Why didn't you join up with him? Oh, wait, maybe you did, and they didn't accept it. Now they're coming after you. And the Emperor's like, no, Daleks just want to destroy all life except for Daleks. But the Hand, they want to destroy, or the Hand, they want to destroy all life, including themselves. And this is an unspeakable thing. So they can't respect that. If they were another conquering race, the Daleks would respect them to some extent. They'd still want to destroy them, but they would respect them. But because they do that, they think that this is illogical and an irreprehensible being that has to be stopped. And so who thwarts them on their universe-destroying thing? It's the Doctor. So the strategist has come up with a plan to bring the Doctor in. And so, the Emperor's telling him they're coming. If they take Skaro, we're your best chance at defending this galaxy. If we fall, they're going to go after species after species, planet after planet, system after system, and wipe everything out. So help defend us. The Doctor thinks about it, and then the Doctor kind of makes a quip, well, so you're asking me for help. And the Emperor, of course, gets all huffy, and he's like, I am not asking, I'm ordering. And the Doctor goes, well, no, not unless you ask nicely. They push it, and then, of course, in front of all his drone minions, he has to ask. He says, Doctor, we are requesting your assistance in defending Skaro. And the Doctor's like, well, I think that is the closest you could get to that. So he accepts that. And he goes off with the strategist. Now, the strategist, I love this character. I love his banter with the Doctor. And the Doctor starts noticing that the strategist's armor, it's cracked, it's damaged, and his doesn't fly. He's got a lot of things that are like downgraded. So how is he the prime strategist of the Daleks as this? And he says, well, it's of a past mistake. As we kind of learn in the Time Lord Victorious, that past mistake is potentially him partnering with the Doctor. So it's kind of funny as these timelines are kind of swinging around. I'm not 100% sure that that's what it is, but that's kind of what I take it to be. And so that's his plan, is to work with the Doctor, and they go to this vault of incredible weapons that that generation of Daleks were wiped out. And so the Daleks don't know what's in it, but it's booby-trapped. And so they kind of have a couple of panels that are very, Indiana Jones-like, as the Doctor's disabling all the traps. And he's muttering and going on. Everyone does it. They make this big coliseum, and what do they? Let's put booby traps in it. Why not a basketball court or a tennis court or a swimming pool? No, we got to put booby traps in it. And so he's making fun of it, and they get there, and then of course, the Hond show one of them is there inside, and of course, he's ready to exterminate it. The doctor's like, "Whoa, hold up, easy there. Let me talk to him." And they, what's your purpose? What's that? And finally, it gets tired of talking, goes to go after the doctor. The strategist shoots it. The doctor gets mad at the strategist, and the strategist is like, "You're welcome for saving your life," or something like that. And the doctor's just like, "I don't like this situation at all." They go in. He's bringing on some unspeakable weapons that the Daleks don't know about. But the doctor does, because he has faced these before. He has put these weapons out of business before. So he's going to have to run into it. And then they're having banter back and forth with the strategist. And the strategist is unique because typically a Dalek, when you try to reason with it, just stays the same thing. And at the core, the strategist is still a Dalek. He still makes some of the Dalek mistakes. However, he's willing to think outside the box. He recognizes that the reason why the Daleks sometimes lose is because they're so one-track minded, and yet the Doctor is not. So that is why he keeps coming up with this plan to involve the Doctor in all these events, because he realizes the Doctor, while maybe not as pure a goal as he feels the Daleks are, thinks outside the box, comes up with strategies that the Daleks and their single-mindedness can't. And so he's willing to actually listen to the Doctor, but everything the Doctor tries to teach him, he kind of throws back at him with a twist, and the Doctor, "No, that's not the point I was trying to teach you." He turns everything the Doctor's saying evil, and he thinks, so the Hond comes back to life that the Dalek had killed. And then so the Doctor's examining it. He's about to go at it again, and the Doctor's like, "Yeah, that worked so great the last time." And then he's about to destroy the strategist, and the Doctor's messing there with the computer. He uses some Dalek technology to create an electrical cage around it. And it's unique because the Daleks would have never thought to use this technology to do that, because they use it to destroy, but the Doctor was able to modify it into a non-lethal way that actually contained this being. So then him and the strategist have some more banter, and the strategist is like, "A whole army is coming. Are you planning on capturing them all and holding them all? Or are you going to look up for a way to destroy them?" And the Doctor's, talking to him, and he talks to the Hond a little bit, and he realizes that they are experiencing extreme pain. They're from the dark times, a being that was built around the personification of pain, and they think that's all that life is, and so to kill is to eliminate life of pain, and it's in nothing but extreme suffering. And the more a Dalek attacks it, the more pain it experiences, the stronger it gets. So every time the Daleks try to destroy it, it only gets stronger, and its lust to destroy it only gets bigger. So as the army starts hitting on Skaro, of course, the Daleks start shooting everything they got at their biggest, baddest weapons that the Doctor just unleashed. But they're getting bigger. They're getting stronger. They're overwhelming the Daleks. And the Doctor's like, "Shut it down. Shut it down right now. Go back." And he helps them to, he says, "Give me access to your network." And they don't trust him at first. And he convinces the strategist. He says, "Your Emperor called me here to protect you. You trusted me to do this. If you want me to actually do the job, you've got to do this." And so he says, "Give the Doctor access." The Doctor goes in, creates a thing that basically uses some energy, frequency, whatever, nullifies the being. And as they're erased, they're being erased of pain. And because they're being erased of pain, because pain is all that's keeping them alive, that is what kills them, or what. But as they're leaving, they thank the Doctor. Now, I kind of got a little fan theory that the entity from the Dalek animated series and the Hound might be one and the same being. You know, the idea that this entity from another dimension had a beef with the Daleks specifically kind of makes me think that. I haven't read the little Dalek books that came with the figures yet. I'm imagining there's some things that tie that in together there. But once I read the books, I can get back to that speculating. Of course, now the Daleks are ready to exterminate the Doctor. The Doctor's like, well, strategist, I thought you were different. And he's like, well, at my base core, I'm still a Dalek. You've served your purpose. Now it's time to exterminate you. Well, he throws a screwdriver up. See, when they gave him access to the network, he was able to make it all blow up. So he had a plan to backstab them if they backstabbed him. He goes running. Like I had said at the beginning, he had previously been on an adventure with the 13th Doctor. He'd set out a beacon, and lo and behold, who's in the hallway? The 13th Doctor. She comes, rescues him, takes him back to his TARDIS, and then they go their separate ways. And that, I think, is the only involvement that the 13th Doctor has in Time Lord Victorious. There's a strange thing where they can't have it directly involved, anything with the show itself or the actor playing it, because the show is made off of, the tax dollars in England, and so it has to be, for those in England, it has to be provided to the public. And so anything that requires you to understand the plot of the show, that would require you to buy a comic or all that kind of stuff, would violate the government contract. So the current Doctor can't be involved in this big crossover event, really. So this little snippet is the closest that she's going to be in it. But for some, that's probably a good thing. For some, it's a disappointment. But I think throwing her as the one that goes and saves 10 at the end here is probably a little nod, so that the fans of that are getting their Jodie 13th Doctor, and it's not significant in the story plot that those who are not a fan of the 13th Doctor are not throwing up their hands and going, oh, Time Lord Victorious went Chibnall or whatever. To each their own. I'm mixed feelings on the 13th Doctor, but I fully, if somebody loves the 13th Doctor, that is great for them. So I think that was good that they found a way to slightly tie it in, but not make it a big deal and have some giant controversy over the Time Lord Victorious, because it is a great storyline that I think all fans of Doctor Who should be enjoying. Anyways, that was my look at Time Lord Victorious, the Titan Comics two-issue series. It was great and amazing. And next we're going to look at, there's 2 other comics to look at. So until the next time, have a good day and subscribe.